All right, let's take a phone call. Cliff, thank you for holding. How can we help you tonight, please, sir?
I was just wanting to ask a question about this insurance. If you get into a wreck and it's not your fault, then the insurance company goes up on our premiums.
Well, hey, listen, you got to turn down the volume all the way down on your set, or either hang up the phone and take your answer off the air. So I can
just
talk
put
to
it
you.
on mute. How's that?
There you go. Perfect. That'll work. That'll work fine.
Gotcha.
Hey, Cliff, here's the answer. I take it you're calling us from Florida.
Yeah.
Florida is a no-fault state.
Okay.
And what that means is that if you are injured by an automobile accident, your insurance, your car insurance, is going to pay the first part of your medical expenses and any lost wages that you have as a result of the accident. And you think, well, now wait a minute, how in the world is that fair? Why should my insurance have to pay? Well, first of all, your insurance is the one that wanted it that way. Many years ago, the insurance companies lobbied our legislature to pass this no-fault law because they thought that, well, you know what? If Cliff thinks that he's going to have to use his own insurance for his medical treatment, he won't go as often as he needs to because he's going to be afraid that his insurance rates are going to go up. So he'll just not go and get treatment. So the insurance company many years ago fought for this no-fault law. Now, just recently, they fought to undo it because they said, hey, wait a minute now, the chiropractors and some other medical doctors are just abusing this system, so we want to undo the no-fault law. And for a while, it went away, it sunsetted, but now we've got it back. So, Cliff, in the state of Florida, you could be walking down the street and a drunk driver hit you, and because your insurance company wanted it this way, your insurance is going to pay 80% of your medical bills and 60% of your lost wages as a result of the accident. Now, traditionally, if you have not had a lot of other claims on your insurance policy, your insurance rates will not go up. That's traditionally the way it happens. They will not. Now, if you've had a couple of claims, then your insurance rates may in fact go up. But that's how no-fault law works, but it applies to 80% of your medical bills, 60% of your lost wages, until the limits of your no-fault insurance have exhausted, and typically that's $10,000. So, you know, I mean, does that answer your question, Cliff?
Kind of, sort of.
Hey, listen, Cliff, if you're in an accident, I think this is maybe another way of saying it. You're in an accident and it's not your fault,
right.
Your insurance rates should not go up.
Well, that's what I thought.
Randy looks like he disagrees.
Well,
with me,
but I'm going to give you an example.
They're definitely going to go up if you're at fault and your carrier pays the other guy. But if you're not at fault,
yeah,
it's I'm not so sure your rates are going
up. But you tell me this isn't true now. You went through a streak where you had like 3 or 4 rocks hit your windshield on your car. And your insurance company told you, even though it was, I know, it wasn't your fault, but your insurance company told you, listen, because you've had 3 claims now, if you file this 4th claim, we're going to have to raise your rates.
That may be true.
Yeah.
But if another guy runs a stop sign and hits me and it's clearly his fault, I think his rates are going up, not yours. I'm not 100% sure of that, but that's what I think.
I agree, but I'm telling you, if you happen to be an innocent victim 3 or 4 times in a row, your rates probably will go up because they'll put you in some kind of a higher risk category. But generally speaking, one incident, one accident that's not your fault will not raise your rates or premiums.
Okay.
Cliff, I'm sorry you had to be a witness to this little disagreement.
Oh, that's all right.
Hey, listen, thanks for watching the show and calling in.
Yes, sir.
We appreciate it. Have a good evening, Cliff.
I just cut him off. I'm sorry. Listen, we got some open lines again. We've got 10 more minutes to answer your legal questions about accidental injury, wrongful death cases, claims against your insurance company, or an insurance question. Our firm, again, is Kerrigan, Estes, Rankin, McLeod, and Thompson. We represent injured people from Pensacola all the way to Port St. Joe, Destin, Fort Walton Beach.
Tallahassee. I mean, you know, I took some calls from Tallahassee today of folks needing help because a lot of people just don't understand car insurance law. You know, you get into an accident and it's not your fault, and you go to the doctor in the emergency room and the ambulance, and they're wanting to know who your insurance company is, and you're laying there stunned and hurt and not feeling well, and you're thinking, wait a minute, my insurance company? I didn't do anything wrong. Bill their insurance company. And so we get a lot of phone calls about, well, how does that work and why does that work?
Yeah. All right, let's talk about our staff for a minute.
Okay.
And again, we've got some open lines. Julie, we're going to take your call here in a minute. Just to brag about our staff, we have some people that work for the law firm that have worked for us for over 20 years.
Longer than I've been there.
Not just one, but over 20 years.
Longer than I've been there.
And our staff, and we're so proud of them, but they're hardworking, and they really, truly have, independent of the lawyers, they have knowledge and industriousness about them that is so helpful to us as we help people with things like, you know, when you resolve a case today, Randy, as opposed to 10 years ago, now you have to resolve liens from not just health insurance companies, but from Medicaid and Medicare, and there are a lot of government regulations to getting these liens satisfied. Now there's a brand new thing called Medicare Set-Aside, where you not only have to pay back Medicare for your past medical, for what they've paid towards your medical bills related to an accident, but you've got to pay into the future. It can be extremely complicated, and we just have some wonderful assistants that are just all over that and very helpful. So just a thank you to them if any of them are watching, but we have a great staff that we're proud of.
Yeah, and here's how it serves our clients. You know, a lot of times you and I are in a courtroom, or we're in depositions, or we're in a mediation. We're not in the office. Our staff is there working away, and when our clients call in and they've got a question about, well, how does this property damage issue work? Well, what part of the bill is supposed to be paid by my health insurance? Or my health insurance says they're not going to pay because it's accident related. Our staff knows the answer to all of those questions.
Yep.
Sometimes better than I do, truthfully. I mean, there's some people that have been with our firm longer than I've been there, and I go to them and say, now, wait a minute, am I thinking about this right? Does this work that way? And so our staff is great to be there to help folks, hopefully like Julie. Julie, how can we help you tonight?
I hear her. Julie, you there?
Yes.
All right, if you'll mute the sound on your TV screen, or then you won't get that feedback and you can hear us. How can we help you tonight?
Yes. Following on that question you answered for Cliff,
Yeah.
after you've exhausted the medical on your insurance, if you weren't at fault,
Right.
where does it go from there? If you've been injured and lost wages?
Are you calling from Florida, Julie?
Yes.
All right, listen, if you're in an accident and your medical insurance on your automobile, which we call PIP, Personal Injury Protection in Florida, has exhausted, and your PIP coverage is typically $10,000, then the next place that you would look initially is to your health insurance if you have health insurance. Have you been in an accident, Julie? You there?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Well, listen, your automobile insurance will pay all of your medical bills at the rate of 80%, and then when that is exhausted, then you should have your medical care providers bill your health insurance. Kind of in between there, you might also have an optional type coverage in Florida called medical payments coverage, and that coverage will pay some more of your medical bills, the 20% that your PIP doesn't pay. But then when your automobile PIP and MedPay is exhausted, your health insurance is paying on your bills, you may also have a claim, Julie, against the other driver's insurance company for the medical bills on top of your PIP and MedPay. And if you have a persistent, permanent injury of any sort, then you have a claim against the other driver for your pain and suffering and disability and inability to enjoy life, kind of those intangible damages if you have a permanent injury of any kind. So you know, if your situation is anywhere near that, you know, we really think that you would benefit from at least talking to a lawyer to see if they can help you.
Okay.
You there?
Yes.
Yeah, and Julie, here's the difference now. In your car insurance, when it pays the medical bills, you never owe your car insurance back that money. But if your health insurance, and when your health insurance starts to kick in and pay, normally your health insurance will have a right of subrogation. They'll have the right to ask for some of their money back when you settle your claim with the at-fault party, with the at-fault insurance company. Ultimately, the at-fault insurance company is going to pay you the other 20% of your medical bills, the other 40% of your lost wages, and if some healthcare professional says that you have sustained a permanent injury, then the at-fault insurance company, if they have the right kind of coverage, will owe you something for the inconvenience, the aggravation, the discomfort that you have gone through as a result of the accident, and, you know, apparently will go through into your future life. So if you've got an ongoing injury, an ongoing problem, those are the kind of claims where we tell you you ought to at least talk to a board-certified civil trial lawyer to understand what your rights are and what your statute of limitations are, you know. Okay?
Okay. Can your employer let you go if you've been injured in an accident and you're out due to an accident?
In the state of Florida, they absolutely positively can. Now, you might be able to claim unemployment compensation benefits, but Florida is an at-will state.
Yeah, also, Julie, you can recover some of your lost wages from your automobile insurance, too.
Okay.
Where are you calling from, Julie? 'Cause
I'm here in Fort Walton.
yeah. Well, listen, just because we're running out of a little bit of time, but if we haven't answered your questions, either you can call our Fort Walton Beach number is 244-1111, and Randy and I will answer any questions you have tomorrow. In Fort Walton, it's 244-1111.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thanks,
All right,
Julie.
listen, good luck to you.
Have a good evening. We appreciate the call.
Well, we got a minute left. Anything else?
No, but it is this, probably. Look at your car insurance. Car insurance is probably the most likely thing that you're going to need in the future because of some accident. You know, it could be slip and fall. We hope not. Medical malpractice, product liability. All of those cases we handle. But car accidents happen daily. Look at your car insurance. Go to your car insurance agent. Ask your agent, what are these coverages?
Yeah, understand.
What don't I have?
Yeah.
Call a plaintiff's lawyer. Call us. We are glad to take your phone call and talk about what your insurance coverage is and is not.
All right, this is The Law Show. I'm Mike McLeod with Randy Thompson for all the lawyers with Kerrigan, Estes, Rankin, McLeod, and Thompson. We'll be back again next Tuesday night to answer your legal questions for an hour. We'll see you Tuesday.